Alright then everybody, welcome to Season 4 of Build the Nation. To begin today, we're just going to take a look at how Scotland have been getting on. I feel like we didn't take a look last time, so it's best to have a look this time. So we missed 2027, so we'll go over that now. They had European Championship qualifiers, where they played the Netherlands, they drew 1-1, Serbia drew 1-1, beat Bulgaria, lost to Serbia, lost to the Netherlands, drew to Bulgaria. And you're thinking, how on earth are you going to try and qualify from that? So if we can, oh, we're not going to be able to find the groups, are we? Oh, this is terrible. Anyway, so Scotland. This is shocking. Didn't do too well in the group. They got one win in the group stage, three draws, two losses. But apparently that was enough to qualify to the Euros. So that's pretty impressive. They made it into a group with Sweden, Turkey, and Finland, where they won two games. Did lose one to Sweden 3-1 away. They do have a nice team going on there. But two wins is pretty decent. That sent them into a game against Albania, where they lost 2-1. They lost 2-1. And it was at home. Because, of course, 2028 is the UK Euros. They lose to. Oh, that's why they got through. They were already qualified. It's a home Euros. How do they get to play every game at Hampden? That's crazy. But anyway, that's why they were already in. They did take a loss to Albania, so they got knocked out there. And now they have a European Nations League Division B group of Romania, Azerbaijan, and Switzerland. So you think they shouldn't be getting relegated, and hopefully they go up a division, really. So they've not been getting on too well. What round was that? Who knows what round that was? Maybe round of 32? I don't know how many teams get through the Euros. But anyway, let's just move quickly on to Falkirk. So you can see we did have, of course, Europa League qualifiers where we played Levski and won 10-1 on aggregate. We played Malmo and then won 10-2 on aggregate. Played Tromsø and then won 9-2 on aggregate. So we had a great European run into the qualification of the tournament. So we then got put in a league phase with FCSB, Lech from Poland, Sparta Prague, Man United again, Kups from Finland, Trabzonspor, Feyenoord, and Eintracht Frankfurt. So a few difficult games. We've got to get some points on the board early. We did start a league campaign with a draw to Hibs, a win against Aberdeen, win against Motherwell, a draw against St Mirren. We beat Ross County, beat Celtic, and then all of a sudden we lose to Dundee United 2-1 immediately after beating Celtic. So that's so disappointing. How did we even manage to do that? Let's just go through our transfers then, because of course it's a new season. We've got transfers, of course. 27-28 transfers that left us, I think, were probably around this point. We said goodbye to Thomas Fernandez, Leon McCann, and Usman Kumbasa. We also did say goodbye to Saibonga Gizana and Musa Sani as well. Let's take a look at players we brought in, which I think starts here. We signed Fabio Vieira, of course, former Arsenal. Thought maybe we get a bit of money out of him if he's not any good. So hopefully that does come true. He's apparently scored 3 goals, 1 assist, making no appearances for us. So good for him, but he won't be doing too much for us. We signed Sota Takeda. I think this is a point where we change how our recruitment happens, so we can try and help the rest of the country develop their teams, bring in youngsters, loan them out. We are keeping Sota Takeda here. He's going to be our backup centre back for the season. He does have some nice attributes, mainly in his physicals, stamina, natural fitness, balance. Not the main ones you'd expect to see from a centre back, although he does have nice vision, good technique, tackling, bravery, and decisions. So he does seem alright and could develop very nicely in the future. He'd cost us £3 million just there. He's played 4 games and dropped to 7.0. That's not too bad. Simeon Iliev was brought in for £1 million. He really interested me. I liked how he looked as a deep line forward. I thought he had the potential to be really, really great. £1 million felt like an absolute bargain for the Bulgarian striker. And you can see his value's gone up to around 15 million after a little loan move to Hearts. He's only played 2 games there so far, but really we're looking for a little development season here where he turns it on and comes back to be our starting striker. We also signed Juan Carlos Murillo. This guy has some really nice passing attributes, good decision making. He's got crazy flair on the ball, brave, really nice physicals. I thought this guy is really close to being a world class central defensive midfielder, a DLP as such. And we signed him for 1.2 million, so a bargain, and hopefully he just keeps getting better and better. It doesn't look like he might not. His potential kind of looks like it's stopping where it is, but it does look like he's growing, so hopefully he has a good season here. 4 assists already. 28-29, we signed Mario Mitai to be a kind of competition left back with Dauda Guindo. Not too worried about that position. Alex Sala, I felt like he was an absolute brilliant midfielder to bring in. He's got some really nice, well-rounded attributes. Can really push us on to the next level into the Europa League this season. 1 goal, 3 assists from him so far. Fieta Arp, I thought this was an absolute phenomenal signing to come in to be our starting striker. Maybe we can try and cash in on that 20 million. I'm having trouble getting players out to the club for money, so it might be difficult to get rid of him. But 8 goals in 8 games, brilliant free signing. And then coming to the end of the transfer window, we signed Danilo Milivojevic. I thought he was a great up and coming Serbian youngster. He's going to stay with us for the season, be a backup to Hinestroza. Hopefully he can learn from him because Hinestroza's been on absolute smoke so far this season. But he does have some really nice attributes that he can potentially grow. He's fairly ambitious. Edvin Chari was also brought in. £1.1 million on the young Colombian boy here. He has some nice attributes that kind of look like he's got potential to grow. 18 years old, his heading's high, tackling's high. The rest of the attributes can be forced to grow. As a defensive midfielder, hopefully he can just continue to develop. We did try and get a loan move for him. No one really wanted him, so that's alright. But of course, who cares? He's doing just fine. We did have other teams playing in Europe this season. Take a look at who they are. Rangers in the Champions League, Celtic in the Conference League, and Hibs in the Conference League as well. So, Rangers did make it through to the Champions League. How did they do that? They didn't have any qualifiers, so it seems we are getting a little bit better here. Straight into the Champions League group stage for them. Who do they have to play? They have to play Napoli, Anderlecht, Ajax, Arsenal, Bilbao, Ludogorets, Newcastle and Bayern Munich. So that is some pretty difficult fixtures there for them. Hopefully a couple wins to help the coefficients nonetheless. Celtic made it through to the Conference League as well. That means they did have to go through qualifiers and they went through the whole round of them. 2-1-1 draws against Dynamo Bucharest where they won on penalties to go through. They did lose to Uzbekistan 3-1 before winning 4-0 at home to send them through to the next round, where they beat Charleroi from Belgium 4-1 on aggregate and are into the Conference League, where they play Nottingham Forest, Cracovia, Losk Lille, Bugnost, Petroclub and Borac. So hopefully they do pretty well there. And of course, I believe we have one more team. I'll check Kilmarnock as well, just to be sure. Maybe we had 5. It says there, Hibs are not in the Conference League, but how did they do? An 8-1 win against Tobel sent them through to the next round, where they played Mjällby, and they won that 4-1 before coming up against AC Milan. They got a 1-1 draw at home, but lost 2-0 away. That is an unlucky game to come up to get into European competition. So that's really tough for them, unfortunately. But they have a great team. Hopefully they can just keep bringing that through. And in Kilmarnock, no, nothing there for them. So it was just the 4 teams into Europe this season, and now 3 remain. Hopefully that goes alright for all the teams involved. And I'll see you at the end of the season. We'll check up on how everyone's done, and hopefully the coefficients have gone quite nicely. Alright then, guys, we have gone on this season to win the Premiership, finishing in first place, of course, with 30 wins, 95 points. That's absolutely insane. That would win us the league in every season so far. So we've done an extremely great job there. And if we look further down the table, Kilmarnock in second, Hibs in third, Rangers in fourth, Celtic in fifth. What the hell's gone on this season? 3 teams above the old firm. It was just us the past 3 seasons. Rangers, of course, finishing in fourth in the first season. But 3 teams is absolutely insane. And they do seem to have deserved it. 24 wins for Kilmarnock. That's brilliant. But I mean, Celtic and Rangers can't be doing that. They were the teams in Europe. What are they doing? But we will just take a look at ourselves for now. We've gone on to play in 4 competitions and we've won 3 of them. We've won the Scottish Cup after a penalty shootout there. We've won the Premier Sports Cup after a 4-1 win there. And of course, the Premiership. If we look at the Europa League, we'll see in the league phase we finished in 8th place, 4 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. And then we went straight to the round of 16 where we played Man United, who finished in the knockout playoff spots, and we lost to them. Were we the only team to lose? No, we weren't the only team to lose to a knockout playoff team, that's fine. But yeah, we lost to Man United. Anyone else, I reckon we beat them. We beat them in the league phase as well, so just disappointing in all, but we've gone ahead and done that. I'll show you the squad. Oh, actually, I'll show you some recruitment that we did first. So, in January, we did manage to sell Fabio Vieira for 9.75 million, so we made a lot of money there. And we signed Richard Kwaku for £145,000, let him stay on loan at his current club. He is doing very well out there. 7.13 average rating out in the Ivory Coast. He looks very good and can come back and challenge for a first team spot next season. He's got some really nice attributes. I'm happy to have signed him. Laurent Kone signed for £210,000. He has some nice attributes as well. We managed to get him a loan move to Dundee, which is really good for the league. He managed to score 4 goals and 2 assists in 9 games for them, so he's done really well out on loan. And they must be happy with him. He's got some nice attributes for the goal scoring part of his game. 17 acceleration, 16 dribbling, 16 agility, 16 pace. He should be scoring absolute bags. Juan Rosa came in to be a backup midfielder for us. I thought he was decent. 1.5 million. He's got some really nice attributes as a defensive midfielder. I'm happy to have picked him up. He's played 16 games for us, 3 goals, 1 assist. His physicals look really nice as well. Really good for that money. Heber da Silva, maybe even better for the money we spent on him. £2.7 million, and he's come in to be a stalwart in our backline. I think he'll be playing majority of games next season. His physicals are so nice. He's so tall that he should just be absolutely bagging goals from corners. We just have to work on his mentals really, and he'll be there. He'll be perfect. We also signed Juan Morente. He is a really good up-and-coming winger. He's got a nice holy trinity for his finishing, dribbling and first touch, and he's got a nice agility and balance, pace kind of trio there as well. Really determined type of player, aggressive, he's composed, he's got great decisions, off the ball's good. He's really, really good. Really good. Happy to have signed him and sent him to Motherwell. He's scored 7 goals in 12 games. So absolutely brilliant pickups coming through here. Let's go ahead and take a look at how Celtic and Rangers got on in their competitions. Celtic knocked out of the Conference League. How did they get on in the league phase? They finished in 10th, 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. So they didn't lose a lot of games, that's fine. They went to the knockout playoff rounds and beat Sarajevo in the knockout playoff. Went to the round of 16 and lost to Nottingham Forest. After winning 3-1 in the first leg, they lost 3-0 in the second and seemed to be knocked out there. So that's a bit disappointing. You can't lie, that's very disappointing to see. They could have gone further, especially 3-1 up. And then Rangers were the last team in European football. They've been knocked out of the Champions League just there. So league phase, they've finished in 31st. So 1 win, 2 draws, 5 losses. Pretty bad. Pretty bad in general, all round for them. We and Celtic both went the furthest, so coefficients could be alright. We'll have to move on to the next screen to see how the coefficients moved. But for next season, we got to think about Kilmarnock will be with us in the Champions League, I think. Hibs and Rangers in the Europa League, maybe, or maybe it's just Hibs in the Europa League and they two in the Conference League. We'll find out in just a second as I go find this next screen. So I'll see you just in 2 seconds. Alright, so looking at this screen here, we can see Conference League qualifiers. Rangers and Celtic, they have to go through the qualifiers for that competition. Champions League, Kilmarnock and Falkirk. So we're going to have Kilmarnock trying to get into the Champions League. This could really harm the coefficients. And then we have Hibs in the Europa League as well. We really need Celtic and Rangers to get into their competition because I don't know how strong these two, Kilmarnock and Hibs, are. We should get into Champions League. You can see we're moving up very slowly to 58th position for our club here. Scotland rise in the coefficients table up to 12th. We'll go take a look at that in a second. But we get another team into the Europa League and they get taken out of the Conference League. So we get an extra shot at making a competition. That's perfect. Continents, Europe, Nation Club coefficients. That's what we're trying to look for. And we can see here we have moved up to 12th, getting a 10.531 last season. Very good. We're losing a 6.1, so we could be catching Belgium. And it actually shows here we could catch Belgium, who have a 30.5, and we have a 36. So we actually have to catch them. Greece, we are in front of right now. So as of right now, we're moving up to 10th. And we could also catch the Netherlands, who are on 39 and are losing a 10 while we're only losing a 6. So that is really important that we do really well this season to try and catch up even more. Of course, there's 5 teams this time. 2 of them were unsure of the capabilities. Celtic and Rangers as well, kind of dropping down. I'm not sure if they can handle it, but we'll see. We'll see for sure. No one behind us can really get close to us. Denmark on a 31. They're a bit too far away for us right now. So yeah, next season we should be moving up to 10th, potentially 9th. Because I'm assuming Austria and Turkey are just going to push on past the Netherlands at this point. Hopefully all goes well. And if we move up to 10th, can we see qualification places? That was it. Move up to 10th, we get someone into the league phase. That's really important. And then someone is in the league path second qualifying round. So that's just fine. Europa League, we get someone into the playoff. So they're really close to, they just have 1 game to play. 2 legs. Second qualifying round, which is fine. And then the Conference League, they just have 2 games to play. Okay. So that's not bad at all. We'll try and push for that. We do have £9.5 million to spend for next season. Maybe players from the team here may be leaving. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. I'll just get to use in Season 6. So that'll be in a couple days' time. And hopefully that goes just fine as well. See you then.